Hey guys, Yuliya here. So today I wanted to show you another garden tour of our main flower border. Now I did a garden tour of the same space about 3 weeks ago, but the garden has changed completely. It looks like a brand new space. So I wanted to show you some of the flowers and plants that I have blooming there right now and talk somewhat in detail about their care and some of the troubleshooting. All right, so I'll start right here. This is an unusual point of view. This is right under our cherry tree, but I wanted to show you these lilies, the Casa Blanca lilies that are fully open right now, and also that elephant ear. This is the largest leaf that opened so far, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So when you plant elephant ear, try to position it so it faces a little bit of the eastern light or western light, not just because it likes a little bit of those sun rays, but look at the light that is coming through it. You can see all the veins. Isn't that so gorgeous? But I also love how it looks with the lilies. Right here and over there. So let me climb out of here and I'm going to show you the rest of the border. By the way, the Cleomes are starting to bloom. I really have to thin them out a little bit. They usually sort of take over. I'm sorry, I was interrupted by my neighbor as I was in the middle of this. Anyway, the Cleomes are starting to bloom. There is some ageratum right here that I started from seed. This is a second flush of feverfews. And more Cleomes. Right here, I just wanted to stop a little bit and talk about this Clematis. This is Henry, and Henry pretty much died last year. Something happened to it. I think wilt got to him and it died pretty much all the way to the ground and was gone. I thought I lost it. And I changed the soil a little bit around here, the root base, because that's where the wilt spores live. And look at that. I don't know if that's what did it. It came back. It looks beautiful. It has a lot of buds. It's one of my favorite clematises because it blooms all summer long, pretty much starting spring and done in October. It's beautiful, beautiful plant. Let me just show you the overview of the border right now. I hope the light is okay. I'm shooting it early in the morning because we're going to have a scorcher today. But this is pretty much what the border is looking now. Everything is super lush. I'm going to go on this side first and then turn around and do the devil's strip. So here we have some miscanthus grasses and the paniculata that is going to bloom soon. The echinaceas in their glory. The bees are absolutely having such a good time. It's a little bit too early right now, but usually in the middle of the day they are covered, absolutely covered. So actually all of these are self-seeded. I never planted these, and I think it's a perfect location for them. Now this phlox right here, I got as roots in Costco bags, and this is Laura. I finally found the name. So you see the eyes, the little white eyes on them. Now, phlox is one of the easiest plants to grow. I actually may do a separate video on them. They bloom for the longest time and so much color, really hardy, but they're kind of hard to start from root. I tried for a couple of years when I bought them in those bags in Costco. So if you buy them and it doesn't work out, just try again, because that's what happened to me. And then finally you know, a couple of the roots that I bought just took, and they're absolutely stunning. Now right here I have this a little bit of a jungle of different plants. This is Senorita Blanca, Cleome, with HF Young Clematis, with some drumstick alliums. There's a bee on it. Bees adore drumstick alliums. They just love them so much. And also I left the penstemon seed heads, but look just how beautiful they look. Look at the seed heads. They are super decorative, almost as decorative as the flowers. They're dark in color, so they look perfect with the Cleome. Now this right here, like a lot of people would probably consider a jungle mess where all the plants kind of grow into each other. I love it. There's some roses still blooming. There's the elephant ear right here. The HF Young Clematis is starting to bloom again, and I really, really regret that I didn't cut it in half like I told you last time, guys, because I think it would have even better flush of blooms and bigger flowers, because it wants to bloom again. It is a repeat bloomer for me, but it kind of has this scraggly growth, but if you cut it in half, it will have a fresher growth and much bigger flowers, almost the same as in the spring. So a little bit of a view from here. I hope the light is okay. And hi! And Joe Pye weed is about to break out. Look at all the buds. Oh, you hear that sound? There's a robin. It's a red robin mama bird. No, actually, that's not a red robin. That's something else. Right there in the bird feeder. God, I don't know my birds. But she's been screaming all morning. I wonder if there's a nest somewhere around she's trying to protect. So let me talk about some of the troubleshooting. So you see how this dahlia here has a lot of foliage and few blooms. Usually by this time, like, I would have lot more blooms. I dumped too much compost and manure in this spot. Dahlias do like to be fertilized, but not too much nitrogen, because when you add too much nitrogen, it all goes into foliar growth and not too many flowers. So you kind of have to balance it out. And I remember telling myself in the spring, you know, that's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much. And just like this spot right here, that's when it happened. And the same thing happened with this Homestead Purple lavender. Again, lots of beautiful foliar growth, not too many flowers, although the ones that I have are absolutely stunning. And let me talk about this balloon flower. I love this plant, but as you can see, it looks a little shaggy, and I actually left the those spent blooms on purpose, because I want you guys to see what a plant looks like when the flowers die, because it's important. Some plants die beautifully, some look a little bit, you know, raggedy like this, so you have to remember that and keep that in mind, because your catalogs will not show you what blooms look like after they're spent. I will show you what they look like. Again, they're really beautiful, but I do have to deadhead them every other day, so the plant looks more or less presentable. But the color, you can't beat that color. Gorgeous. Same thing with this clematis here as with the HF Young. I should have cut it in half because it is trying to bloom again, but it could have been so much better if I cut it back. That is Filipendula right there. I have a better photo of it close up when it was still in full bloom. Absolutely stunning plant. It is a native. It can get a little bit aggressive, so you have to watch it. It doesn't get aggressive in my garden, but in some of the wetter areas, it just sort of takes over, or that's what I heard. And right here we have the old-fashioned phlox that a friend gave me. And it's so funny, the friend has moved away to another part of the country, but I still have the flowers and the memory, which is great. An old-fashioned phlox, I just call it old-fashioned phlox because I don't know the variety, but they generally seem to be taller. They are prone to mildew, so I do have to correct the mildew issue later in the season. But I just love the fragrance, I love the height, and the look of it. I've worked on this area here. I was actually finally decided to put irrigation tubing. But I just wanted to quickly show you this plant. I probably will go around, maybe show you a little bit more. This is what I started from seed. This is fancy blue purple larkspur. And the color on this thing is unreal. Like, you can't even describe it. It's this cobalt blue with purple. Like, if you like this color, it's very easy to grow from seed plant. Just try it. I winter sowed this one. Stunning, stunning plant. And these are my hollyhocks from winter sowing from last year. Still waiting for them to bloom. But right here, I wanted to show you this cool looking plant. This is probably the coolest looking plant in the garden right now. This is a veronicastrum. And there are very few plants that are these candle-like flowers that have a really good height to them, and they're see-through. You see how, like, you can see the Echinacea right there? Absolutely amazing. I love this plant, and so do bees. So it's early in the morning, but the bees are already starting. This is one of the best native pollinator plants. Great foliage structure. You see how the leaves kind of go in those circles. Underrated. Totally underrated plant. I don't quite understand why more people don't grow it. Very easy to grow. Blooms in the middle of the summer where we really need something interesting in the garden. I planted it against the arborvitae, that dark green with the light flowers, that contrast. Look how that stands out. Anyway, I can talk about flowers forever, you guys. So my videos get quite long. There's more Echinacea right here. So this is the original mother plants that I planted, and the rest of the Echinacea that you see in my border actually seeded from these plants right here. And now what I'm going to do, I am actually going to go out on the road, and it's a quiet morning, so there are not too many cars. I mean, look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? So I wanted to show you the devil strip. So I bought some Cleomes. I do buy Cleomes occasionally, although I do have a lot of the ones that self-seed in my garden. But it helps to kind of replenish the stock. They hybridize with the new Cleomes and like become a little bit more healthier. This is a rose of heaven that I winter sowed, and it's just the cutest little flower. I love the wild flower look on this. It is definitely on the way out because it does not like the heat right now. We're in the middle of a heat wave for sure. Right here I have the little blue stem with Mish. Come here, you want to go say hi? I'm sorry, there was my doggy walking around. Little blue stem with Leotris. Just beautiful, beautiful combination. Now, Leotris I also got in Costco. This is becoming quite a Costco garden. Now, right here, there's another Phlox, and this is Nicky. Now, Nicky came in the same bag as Laura, the one I showed you before. Again, it took me a while for the roots to take, but the color on this thing is stunning. Let me show you a new plant that actually my mom talked about, and I decided to buy it here in the United States. My mom has it back in Russia. This is Sedalcia or Sedalcea. I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce it because it's new to me. And it has this mellow look to it. It is a little bit finer flowers. It's just adorable. I bought just a little root, so it's starting to take. I can't wait to see what it does next year. The Russian sage is blooming. And so all of these echinaceas that you see right here are from seeds from the ones that I showed you before. All of these guys. I love self-seeders like that. Right here I have Thomas Edison Dahlia starting to bloom. Something is chewing on it. I have to address this, but the color is just so lovely. That deep, rich purple color. And right here I have my Echinacea, which is loved by bees and loved by all passers-by. This is probably the most asked about flower right now because nobody has seen it, but I just wanted to show you how prickly it is. So when you grow this plant, you can grow this from seed. You have to replant it while it's still quite young because it gets really prickly. So it's almost like impossible to touch. You need leather gloves. So worth it though. Beautiful blue, very unusual shape of the flowers. Planted right next to this Tsukiyori no Shisha Dahlia. That is one of my most favorite in the garden. It's actually quite large this year. These I grew from cuttings from my original tubers. And if you're interested on how to grow dahlias from cuttings, there's a video that I made about that. There's Gara intermingling here. And moving right along. The switchgrass is starting to come in right here. And my friend Patty found catchfly for me. Remember I showed you the one in her garden? And you guys loved it, and I love it too. And she was so sweet. She bought me 3 plants. I have no idea where she found them. They're not easy to find. Right here I have some bee balm. Oh, by the way, this is the area that road workers dug up. There was nothing here. It was completely dug up, and I'm just replanting some Cleome here. I've replanted these 2 days ago, and Cleome have tendency when you replant them to look completely dead, like they're done, they're dead. Just pull them out, and then the next morning they perk up like this. So when you replant plants, you can also put umbrellas over them or some sort of shade cloth if it's really hot to help them establish a little bit better. This is Franz Schubert Phlox. That is absolutely one of my favorite phloxes because it is mildew resistant, blooms pretty much from now until the fall, full heads of flowers. Look at that. It is slightly fragrant, just stunning plant. And it's right next to Laura, right here. And the catchfly again. Look at these gentle, delicate little flowers. I hope the light is okay. It's really hard to take photos and videos when the light is constantly changing. But I think this is it for the border for now. It is definitely coming in. It's actually going to be even fuller in a few weeks because I have more dahlias that are starting to bloom, and Cleome as well. Alright guys, so this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you are new here, consider subscribing. I would love to stay in touch with you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.